Christmas. Snow falling, lights twinkling, children asleep. For most people, it is the warmest night of the year. For the three families you are about to hear from, it was the night something ancient woke up and decided it wanted in. These are not creepypasta. They are private submissions from 2024 and early 2025, never told publicly until tonight. Names and exact addresses have been changed. Everything else is exactly how it happened. Turn off the Christmas lights, lock the doors, and whatever you do, do not open the door for anyone you didn't invite. Let's begin. Story 1. The Christmas Tree That Bled. December 24th, 2024. A family in rural Minnesota finishes decorating their real 12-foot Fraser fir. They go to bed. At 4:17 a.m., the father, David, wakes up to the sound of dripping. He walks downstairs, and the entire living room floor is covered in a pool of dark red liquid, coming from the tree itself. Not sap, not water, real blood pouring from dozens of fresh cuts in the trunk, as if the tree had been flayed alive. The ornaments are swinging slowly, even though there is no draft. David grabs a knife and slices a branch to prove it's just sap. The tree bleeds harder. The Christmas lights flicker red. His wife finds him an hour later, sitting on the floor, covered in blood, whispering that the tree told him it remembers every child who ever hung an ornament on it, and it wants them back. They cut the tree down the next morning. Inside the trunk, carved deep into the wood, were the names of every child who had ever lived in that house, including their 6-year-old daughter, who was born 3 years after the tree was planted. The tree is gone. The bleeding stopped. But every December since, a new pine seedling appears in their yard overnight, already 12 feet tall, with fresh cuts and a single red ornament that wasn't there the day before. Story 2. The Elf on the Shelf That Wrote Back. December 1st, 2024. A mother, Sarah, places the family's elf on the shelf for the first time. Her 7-year-old son, Noah, writes the elf a note every night. On December 9th, the elf writes back, in Noah's exact handwriting, I see you when you're sleeping. Tonight I'm moving to your room. Sarah laughs. Noah must have written it. But Noah can't write in cursive yet. That night, the elf is sitting on Noah's pillow, holding a new note in Noah's handwriting. Mommy lied. I'm not a toy. I'm here to take one of you by Christmas. Every morning, the elf is somewhere new, always holding a new note in Noah's handwriting, counting down the days. December 23rd, the note reads, tomorrow night, pick who goes. Sarah burns the elf in the fireplace. Christmas Eve, Noah wakes up screaming. The elf is back on the mantle, perfectly intact, holding a final note. You weren't supposed to burn me. Now I take both. That morning, Sarah finds Noah's bedroom door locked from the inside. When police break it down, the room is empty. The elf is sitting on the bed, holding two new notes. One says, thank you. The other is blank, waiting for next year's name. Story 3. The Visitor on Christmas Morning. December 25th, 2024. A family in upstate New York wakes up to presents under the tree that none of them bought. Every gift is wrapped in red paper with real gold ribbon and addressed to each family member in handwriting none of them recognize. Inside, the father receives a snow globe showing their exact living room with the family opening presents dated December 25th, 1953. The mother receives a music box that plays Silent Night, but the voice singing is hers, recorded when she was 8 years old at her childhood home that burned down in 1987. The teenage daughter receives a Polaroid of herself asleep in bed, taken from inside her room, time-stamped 3 a.m. that same morning. And the 10-year-old son receives a single red Christmas stocking filled with human teeth, all baby teeth, with his name carved into each one. At the bottom of the stocking, a final note in beautiful calligraphy. Merry Christmas. Thank you for letting me in last year. See you again next December 25th. S. They called the police. The presents vanished while the officers were in the room. But every Christmas morning since, one new gift appears under the tree, always addressed to the person who opened the door for carolers on Christmas Eve, that no one remembers inviting in. 3 Christmas mornings, when the snow fell a little too quietly, when the lights glowed a little too red, and when something very old remembered it was invited. If you have a true Christmas horror story from this year or any year, send it to aghost32@gmail.com. I read every single one. And to everyone watching this in December, maybe check the gifts under your tree before you open them. Merry Christmas. See you next year.